Why do marketeers always try to get consumers' attention? What is the relationship between attention and brand awareness? Using examples, explain how companies could use their knowledge of these processes in developing their promotion strategy. So for the first questions, why do marketeers always try to get consumers' attention? Because attention implies selectivity. By selecting it from a large set of information and ignoring other information. And also, attention signifies awareness and consciousness, as brand awareness means the ability of a consumer can recognize and recall a brand in different situations.
In order to help us to understand how can a consumer acquire knowledge about the product, we start from the environment. So the consumer acquire knowledge from the environment and through attention and comprehension processes, four processes. From there, he acquire knowledge, and this new knowledge is stored in his memory. After that, we have a lot of integration processes such as attitudes and intention and decision making, who leads to the behavior, the effective behavior of the consumer. Anyway, the marketer wants to know why a consumer decides for a product instead of another, and there are a lot of reasons that leads to a decision of the consumer. In fact, we have a lot of factors influencing attention. The first is affective states, and as we know, the consumer can acquire knowledge through an affective and the affective states is a process using this the consumer responses to TV program influence, so is not related to something misconscious, who stored in his memory from before, from events of the past. And another factor influencing attention is the involvement. We have different examples of involvement. The first one is intrinsic self-relevance, and it is due to individual considerations about a product, and it's related to something that was happening in the past. The second type of involvement is the situational self-relevance, and so this is linked to a particular situation and not to the story of the consumer. The last one is the environmental prominence. So sometimes, for example, Coca-Cola, a lot of brands, huge brands like Coca-Cola, decide to choose strange types of advertising or really big advertising who can really start the attention of the consumer. And this is a typical example of how can a company gain attention by the consumer. For example, the Times Square situation, we have a lot of advertising and we can recognize Coca-Cola between other brands because it's bigger than other brands and so on. And this is an instrument using that the marketeers can choose for a different type of marketing strategy. So in order to answer to our last question, who was explain how companies could use their knowledge of these processes in developing their promotional strategy. We cannot do this if we don't analyze how a consumer choose for a different brand or for a different product. Using this, a marketing strategy can be chosen. So this is the end.